Okay, so in this video, we're going to start Kafka. The first thing I want to do though is go to the Kafka directory. And if you look at the directory list right here, we're going to create a new one, call it data. So now if I do my list, I have a data directory. And within that data directory, I'm going to create a data ZooKeeper. And this is to hold the ZooKeeper data. So now if we do ls data, we should see ZooKeeper, okay? So now what we have to do is start editing the ZooKeeper properties to use the data folder. So I'll do nano config / zookeeper.properties. And there's a data dir in there. And so I need to set the data directory. So I'll set home, Stefan, and then my Kafka directory. So Kafka _ 2.12.200/data / zookeeper. Okay, so this is my full data directory. Enter and save. And so now if you cat that file just to concatenate it, you can see that data dir has been edited. And now I am ready to start ZooKeeper in this window. So I'll do ZooKeeper server start.sh. Okay, and this is my path. Otherwise, you might as well do bin / this if you don't have the path edits that I did. Config zookeeper.properties. And then press enter. And if everything goes well, you get a binding to port 2181 at the very, very bottom of your ZooKeeper. So binding to port 2181. That means that ZooKeeper has been started. If your port 2181 is busy, you're going to get a port binding error and you need to figure out what's on your port 2181. But so once you have this, you're good. Everything looks pretty correct. Okay. And now we're ready to move on to start Kafka. So if we do ls, go to our Kafka directory and do ls data ZooKeeper, we can see that version 2 was created. So ZooKeeper is indeed started in that directory. So that's great. Now I'm going to create a new data directory. So data Kafka, and that is going to hold my Kafka data. Okay. So now if I do ls data, I see both ZooKeeper and Kafka. So here we are. It's perfect. And next I'm going to start Kafka. So I have to edit the properties first. So nano config server.properties. So that's for Kafka. The file is called server.properties. Press enter. And in the bottom of it, you should see a setting called log.dirs. And we have to edit the setting. Okay, so the setting will edit it and make it my data directory path. So home, Stefan, Kafka _ 2.12.200/data/Kafka. So whatever full path you have chosen, you put that here. Press exit and save. And so now in my config server.properties file, I should be able to see that my modification has been taken into place. And here we are. Okay, the modification has been done. So now we're ready to start Kafka. So these files, by the way, are all in the config directory, is all the configs you need to configure Kafka correctly. But right now we don't need to do any configuration. They come with good defaults. So ZooKeeper, we just changed the data dir, and server.serverproperties, we also just changed the data dir. And now we're just ready to start Kafka. So we can do Kafka server start.sh config server.properties and press enter. And so if everything goes well, we should start seeing Kafka starting. And at the very bottom, it says Kafka ID = 0 started. So we have successfully started a Kafka broker. So in the bottom, on the left, we have ZooKeeper in one terminal, and we can't stop ZooKeeper. We have to leave it running in one terminal. In the second terminal, we have Kafka. And Kafka ID = 0 = started means that it's all good. Now in my third terminal, I can just go to my Kafka directory and look into the data Kafka directory, and we can see that it has created 5 files in there. So Kafka has been started and is indeed using this data Kafka directory we just created. So that's all for installing Kafka. Just remember to have ZooKeeper running in one window, Kafka running in another terminal, and then in the third terminal, this is where we're going to run our commands. So that's it for Ubuntu or Linux overall. Just remember that your commands are going to have a .sh at the end. Okay, in the next videos, I'm not going to have a .sh just because I did some special thing on my Mac. But for you, you just had the .sh at the end, and you're good to go to do the tutorial with me. So hope that was helpful, and I will see you in the next lecture.